Hello, everyone. Welcome to this SIFT Aviation Information session. In this video, we'll go through SIFT-style aviation questions and focus on understanding core flight concepts, aircraft behavior, and basic aviation principles. This section isn't about memorizing facts. It's about knowing how and why things work in aviation. I'll help you recognize common question patterns and avoid typical mistakes so you can answer with confidence. For more practice and better scores, you can download the SIFT Tutoring app. If you need a one-on-one tutor, please visit our website. Let's begin and build the aviation knowledge you need to succeed on the SIFT exam. The helicopter pilot can use the pedals to control A. Direction of travel, heading, and hover height. B. Direction of travel, helicopter position, and rate of turn. C. Heading, rate of ascent, and rate of descent. D. Heading, direction of turn, and rate of turn at hover. The correct answer is D. Helicopter pedals control yaw by adjusting tail rotor thrust. This allows the pilot to control the aircraft's heading, determine the direction of turn, and manage the rate of turn, especially while hovering. Pedals do not control altitude or forward motion. Which of the following controls maintains the engine within optimal flight parameters? A is cyclic. B, the throttle. C, anti-torque pedals. D, the collective. The correct answer is B. The throttle controls engine power and RPM, helping keep the engine operating within optimal limits during flight. By adjusting fuel flow, it ensures proper engine performance and prevents overspeeding or underspeeding, especially in helicopters and propeller-driven aircraft. A normal approach uses a descent angle of A, between 7 degrees and 12 degrees, starting about 50 to 100 feet AGL. B, between 7 degrees and 12 degrees, starting about 50 to 300 feet AGL. C, between 12 degrees and 20 degrees, starting about 50 to 500 feet AGL. D, between 20 degrees and 35 degrees, starting about 500 to 1,000 feet AGL. The correct answer is B. Normal approach to a hover. A normal approach uses a descent angle of between 7 degrees and 12 degrees. On final approach, at the recommended approach airspeed and at approximately 300 feet AGL, the helicopter should be on the correct ground track or ground alignment for the intended landing site. But the axis of the helicopter does not have to be aligned until about 50 to 100 feet AGL to facilitate a controlled approach. Class B airspace is generally airspace from the surface to A. 6,000 feet MSL. B. 7,000 feet MSL. C. 8,000 feet MSL. D. 10,000 feet MSL. The correct answer is D. Class B airspace surrounds the nation's busiest airports and typically extends from the surface up to 10,000 feet MSL. It is heavily controlled airspace requiring explicit ATC clearance. Its layered upside-down wedding cake structure manages high traffic density while maintaining safe separation between aircraft. For helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft, the full form of VFR is A. Velocity Fluctuation Regulator. B. Visual Flight Regulation. C. Visual Flight Rules. D. Vertical Flight Rules. The answer is C. VFR stands for Visual Flight Rules, which allow pilots to navigate and control the aircraft primarily by visual reference to the ground and horizon. These rules require good weather conditions and sufficient visibility. They differ from IFR, where pilots rely on instruments instead of outside visual cues. Translational thrust occurs when A. Tail rotor more efficient from hover to forward flight. B. Tail rotor less efficient from hover to forward flight. C. Main rotor more efficient from hover to forward flight. D. Main rotor less efficient from hover to forward flight. The correct answer is A. Translational thrust occurs when a helicopter shifts from hovering to forward flight. During this transition, the tail rotor experiences smoother airflow, which increases its aerodynamic efficiency. As a result, it produces more thrust with less effort, improving the helicopter's stability and control during forward movement. The best angle of climb, Vx, is a function of A. The speed gained over a given distance. B. Altitude gained over a given time. C. Altitude gained over a given distance. D. Angle gained with the vertical line over a given distance. The answer is C. The best angle of climb, Vx, gives the greatest altitude gain per unit of horizontal distance traveled. It's used to clear obstacles after takeoff, focusing on distance, not time. Unlike the best rate of climb, Vy, which measures altitude gain per unit time, the tension on the string is greater in which position of the weight? A, point A, B, point B, C, it is the same for each position on the board, D. The tension does not depend on the position of the weight on the board. The correct answer is B. As the weight moves farther from the support, the string becomes more horizontal, reducing its vertical component. To balance the same weight, the total tension must increase. Therefore, the tension in the string is greater at point B than at point A. Which of the following is used to have control over the yaw axis? A. The anti-torque pedals. B. The cyclic. C. The throttle. D. The collective. The correct answer is A. Yaw is the left or right rotation of a helicopter around its vertical axis. This motion is controlled by the anti-torque pedals, which adjust the tail rotor thrust to counteract main rotor torque and turn the aircraft left or right. The cyclic controls pitch and roll, while the collective and throttle control lift and engine power. Most training helicopters use reciprocating engines because A. They are relatively simple and inexpensive to operate. B. They are mostly available. C. They are made only for training purposes. D. They are generating more power. The correct answer is A. Reciprocating engines are commonly used in training helicopters because they are simpler in design, easier to maintain, and less costly to operate than turbine engines. These qualities make them ideal for flight training, where reliability and operating cost are important.